Welcome to Cranky Live Sports Talk, where passion meets action.
Hey sports fans, I am Cranky, and this is the Cranky Live Sports Talk, the podcast where we dive deep into the hottest topics, the biggest games, and the most controversial moments in sports.
Whether it's football, basketball, track and field, cricket, or soccer, we've got you covered with expert analysis, insider interviews, and unfiltered opinions.
Join me as I chat with the biggest names in sports, get exclusive insights and stories you won't hear anywhere else.
Cranky Live Sports Talk is where you can hear the real talk, the hard-hitting questions, and the hottest takes.
So, if you're a true sports fanatic, you don't want to miss out? Subscribe now to the Cranky Live Sports Talk on YouTube and hit that bell icon to never miss an episode.
Cranky Live Sports Talk, where sports come alive. Subscribe today.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me loud and clear? Let me know. Let me know. Before I start, I want to make sure I am loud and clear. Bless up, One Love, man from Portland. I've seen that one before. Owen was here early. Texicon, can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Just say yes or no in the comment. Yes, if you can't hear me, you can't say no, okay, you not hear me. Can you hear me? I get no response. Kate Reed, can you hear me? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Oh, you can hear me. Good. We can't start. You know, I don't jump right into the main topic, right? Because we know what the main topic is tonight. And this is not a long program, by the way. Not a long program. We have to bring out some things which need to bring out. We're not under this long. It's going to be about an hour. We'll try to cut off an hour. You know, I always have other topics that I want to peruse and talk about and pontificate about. And then, but we have spent enough, the majority of the program is talk about what the thumbnail say. We're tired of the failure, and the failure of a change, and we now take no talk for the change. I don't care what nobody wants to say. But before I jump into that, let me just say a couple of things. Some things that are on my mind, and then I'll go into the main topic. You know, I was even before this show started, I ran into some obstacles, so I had to postpone the time a little bit. I was trying to write a song based on one of my old songs. I'm going to write it when the show is done, actually. Let me do it sometime this week. So Paul Edwards coming with him criticism, right? Paul Edwards can't even land well because, you know, him and football girl come in, you know, because football girl come defend himself. I defend him brother, whoever it is, him I try to defend. And him says, yeah, it's my thumbnail says live weekdays at 7. At 6 it says, by the way. It doesn't say at 7, it says at 6. And they just change that intro because I've decided that now watch me enough for me come 4 days a week. So I come and me come. And support me enough so me can't come. When want me come, you come and me come. All right. And I'm working on other things. I'm trying to do some writing. And I have a bunch of tax season. I have to do my own taxes. And my taxes take about a week for me to prepare my stuff. Enough something going on. But anyway, too much information. What's on my mind? Many of you may watch television in the US news, may see that Joy Reid, who was on, what was she on? CNBC, one of those, or MSNBC, one of those, got fired. Good evening, Ted Dexter. And it seemed like that push by a lot of the networks or under pressure from Trump to push out people who may have a different view from a conservative view, or maybe more liberal view, have been pushed to the wayside. And I asked myself this question. If you think about Joy Reid or Roland Martin or Don Lemon, all who are people who were in the major networks. I think both Roland Martin and Don Lemon were at CNN. They don't have their own YouTube show. Frankly, I think they're probably making more money than they make at a network, and the potential there is greater. But why wouldn't they get some financial backing from some people who have a lot of resources, or black, frankly, like another black network, not like BET, which I don't watch, but one which made the news and sports and some other entertainment, and form their own network. They all have credibility. Bless up Jason Gooner. They all have good acumen. They all are great people, very smart people. Why can't they form their own thing? I still don't get that, actually. Doesn't make sense to me, but maybe it's me not fully understanding some of the powers of these things and what resources are required to get these things done. Now, what else is on my mind? I have a list here. I saw Roland Martin having discussion with, do you guys know a Patrick Bet-David? You guys know of the individuals? He's a naturalized, I think, Iranian who's come to the US, made his fortune through some kind of, what do you call it? Some marketing level, multi-level marketing, which is like a pyramid scheme that he has that did really well, became a multimillionaire. Think nobody works hard like him and nobody works hard. He makes a lot of money, very arrogant, very conservative. But he and Martin were arguing about housing discrimination in the US and how blacks have been disenfranchised from a housing standpoint. And that wealth is actually built a lot through owning a home. You own a home, it appreciates, you sell it, you distribute the proceeds to your descendants, whatever, and you can turn that money and keep on increasing it, right? And he was pushing back really hard at Martin about this. And in the conversation, I'm looking at him thinking, he's not listening. He's just talking. He's not hearing what Roland is saying. And then he starts challenging the government data that's substantial, Roland was saying. He wants to actually see the data himself. Most of us take government data as a given. Sometimes it's wrong, they make errors. None of us say, you got to show me all the data. They publish reports. They've done a lot of review and assessment. The composition of those teams normally are probably both conservative and Democrats in some of those government agencies. That's why you see people getting fired by Musk now. They're crying on both sides of the aisle. And he's pushing, and I'm thinking, why are you talking to him, Roland? He's not hearing you. And by the way, Roland Martin is brilliant. Roland is well-schooled, well-learned, a historian, have a lot of facts and information about history. His channel is doing really well. But I'm like, why are you talking to him? He's an asshole. So I don't know why we have this discussion with some of these people who are not listening. They have their own view of us as a people, and it ain't going to change. You can't change your mind. Third is that Trump wants a national registry for those in the country illegally, and he's threatening jail time for those who don't sign up and comply. Now, people, that's smart, I'm going to say idiot, but if you're illegal, this is killing me, people. If you're illegal and you go sign up for this so-called national registry, aren't you telling everyone that you're in the country illegal and then deport, you're little, you know what? How does that make sense to anybody? And you're going to threaten me with jail time. Like some countries I got to go back to, if I go back to certain slums, it's not worse than jail. If I got to go back to certain slums in Haiti where people are getting killed in a failed state, it's not worse than jail time. Really? Chance of me getting caught? I don't understand that. It's very confusing. Catch-22 El Granero is Granjero, I should say. I pronounced the Spanish wrong, but makes no sense. Second to last is this. The White House says, why is you have these apps, people, and it's writing when you're talking and you don't mean for it to write. I don't know why it started doing that. Let me turn off this thing. Okay, it's recording me. This thing is dangerous. I think maybe it's a government thing. I'm going to start a conspiracy theory about this. The White House says Musk doesn't lead Dodge, but they can't provide a name who does. Then if Musk doesn't lead Dodge and he has a chainsaw, say, cut off and cut down bureaucracy, am I just stupid, people? Or am I an idiot? Just don't understand how the world works? Are we just all morons? The man they say he doesn't need Dodge. You know why? Because then he has to go in front of Congress to go testify, and he's probably on drugs before he go, because he takes that stuff quite a bit. It's the first CEO I see of major companies that has government contract that gets away with murder. When they talk about Caucasian white privileges, the privilege that he has is the embodiment. He's the perfect example. He's the benchmark. He's the standard for Caucasian privilege. Jesus Christ. Lord have mercy. Don't even talk about conflict, tycoon. Conflict, they don't even think about Trump, nothing about conflict. They don't do anything there. I actually think that we're living in an alternative universe. Seriously. If you came to this country like when I did long time, in Ronald Reagan time, and time passed, and the hate between the East and the West, between Russia and the US, and Cold War that they had before Gorbachev decided to change out Russia and then Putin coming. You would think we're an alternative universe. You wouldn't have any idea that we live in a universe where Russia and the United States have any disagreement. I actually believe, and people think this conspiracy theory, I actually truly believe that Putin has something on Trump. He has to. The man says, Ukraine started the war. Now, you and I weren't there to see it if it occurred that way. But the man says, Ukraine started the war. People, the likes them. Let me tell you something tonight. Me not start my diatribe about the whole JFF thing until the likes equal who not watch. So if you don't want to leave, you don't leave. Me not bad move this evening. A bun move this evening. Me a bun, fire move this evening. So I'm not even reach out yet. These are my normal topics, my introductory topics that I'm going through. So the likes have to equal the people I watch before me start talk about the topic. I'm going to topic soon enough. I'm not stay along tonight. We have enough burning out to do. And the burning out is deserved. So the man said, first of all, when he was in his first presidency, he said he more believed Putin and Putin's perspective on certain things than he believed his own intelligence agency. His agency get upset. But obviously, nobody does anything to him. He gets away with murder from day one, figuratively, and does what he wants to do. This time around, he wants to pull them out of NATO. He was against some resolution today that want to condemn Russia. So you listen to all of these things and you're like, damn, am I back in? I'm not even back in time, because there was never a time when the US and Russia were at this place where they were sort of friends in a sense, and all the things that Russia have done, and the man praising North Korea and Russia. So I believe part of the strategy that they're deploying or employing is to try to convert the US to a dictatorship, but doing it in such a way in which, first of all, they're going to camouflage your view with the whole concept of we're trying to become much more efficient, more effective. We can get rid of all the waste and fraud. And by the way, people, I said this yesterday. Which fraud we are talking about? I'll talk some pattern. Which fraud we are talking about? You can't say somebody commit fraud until you have evidence to substantiate they're committing fraud. I hate when people do that. You can't say somebody is corrupt. Like some people say JFF corrupt. I mean, like, do you have evidence to say they're corrupt? Don't say somebody's corrupt if you have evidence. You're slandering somebody about something you have no evidence about. You can say there's alleged corruption in it, or you can say where Raymond came out and said there's corruption. You can say Raymond said there's corruption, but you have no evidence. So you have to qualify what you say, especially in this environment. But I don't understand how in you know what name, people, me I watch you like them like Harkina. So no can't stay there now and hit the like button. Come off and leave. Because me now talk about no JFF till the likes equal, I'm watching. And the old cranky this tonight. I mean, it's for the long time. I go in another place there. I go there. I'm soon start talk about JFF. But when the likes equal, who's watching, then we will talk about JFF. Because me have enough to say. A lot. But the fact of the matter is, I do not understand how we are where we are as a country in the US. Seriously. I mean, and by the way, people, I have a show coming up. It's going to be a video. I'm not going to do a show because sometimes it'll make me upset what I'm thinking. But I'm going to do a video coming up talking about sanctions and why USA sanctions are effective. It's very important because I was talking to somebody the other day. I said that yesterday. And they asked about sanctions. They explained it to me. And I was like, some more education is needed. That's very, very important, actually, because it shows why the US is so part of US dominance. That's part of the US dominance, being able to restrict people, destroy a country like Cuba without firing one shot. That's very, very important. People, 55 likes, 106 people watching. All right, we'll just keep talking about different stuff and decide if we get the likes up to how much people watching. If you come here, you want to leave, you can leave. Nobody now fight to stay. But you have to hit the like button because I spend time. I wear certain things. I spend time. I look on something. So I suggest you hit the like button for our sake, I should say, by the way. Not for my sake, for our sake. Because we're not talking about no JFF. So no matter what, come on, leave. And the likes equal the people in the chat. We're not talking about JFF. Not talking about no JFF, people. What else is on my mind? Jamaica in general. So I was on Management Program today. We're talking about housing and the fact that housing in Jamaica is become extremely expensive. You know what we need to do, people? We need some real, good evening, Talawa TV, bless up, thanks for joining. We need some real discussion about substantive matters in Jamaica. Seriously. Whether it's housing, criminal justice, finance, the regulatory environment, politics, we need some really, I listen to people different program, but everybody want to entertain nowadays. Nobody want to talk no substantive stuff and facts and be learned. Everybody just want entertainment and vibes. And the vibes thing too, but we have to talk real people. Real and jacket. Yeah. Even me talk about jacket, Jason Gunam. Even me I had a jacket program. I even have the 10 things. I pressure do that to people. I have the 10 things that a man should look for. That just show that this woman, signs this woman maybe not being, there may be signs of infidelity. Let me put it that way. Tycoon, somebody like you. Come people, hit the like button, man. We have an introductory leading couple of verses for the session, you know. This session I'm going to do, people, is needed. And the person I'm talking about, we're going to talk about them. But people, 63 likes. Someone want to say, me now hit the like button. All right, people, no cranky, you know. If you no cranky, no hit the like button, trust me. Cause me close on the program and got me and who like me, like the jurors in the world, don't come back and watch me. They forgive me. They forgive me. Someone not gonna forgive me and not come back. Big up, Gunners. Thanks for joining. Some now come back. But some Gunners, by the way, Gunners, good interview, but me have to post something for the interview too and talk about today. Gunners pass. Me can't see what I have to lean over on my iPad. 64 likes, 113 people. So if my math is right, if it was 2 times, it's 128. We're not even close. I'm gonna talk about in life again. But yes, the housing. So we'll talk housing people until the likes them go up. Okay, let me put it this way. When the likes get to 100, me start talk Jamaica football and JFF. When the likes get to 100, I start Jamaica football. I'm drink some water. Okay, I'm doing what I want to do. And by the way, Rudolph, in that chat, Rudolph, me not do this program because I want your likes and because you keep telling people, so when they want views, them do your name. This is not a views program, trust me. Me no want no views because of you. I know you like said that, and you know you feed that. I probably true you're talking now. You carry views, guys. See, 100 people, some people there. Now me get about 70, 80, 90. So true you talk. And as I say, we only have a couple 100,000 people. But me not do this because of views. Me do this because me watch a youth team. I'm in so vexed. We wake up first thing in the morning and that meeting about, so me say, you know what? This have to stop. So anyway, that's as much me I'll say about that. Come people, hit the like button. 70, we need 30 more likes. I mean, I drink white rum. Water I drink. So it may look like a white rum with a water. If it's a white rum in a bottle, and water I drink. Come people, we need 28 more likes. Make the likes and go up, people. If me all spend time on the list, then the likes have to go up so enough people can watch the thing. Because it's going to be a fun show this evening. And by the way, people, let me just say this. I'm going to make this a call-in program too, but I'm doing my little dissertation first before we have the call-in. So the number is going to run at the bottom of the screen. But I'm going to do my dissertation and my little thing first, my little soliloquy before we do it. Rum cranky. No, we're not drinking. We don't drink and we don't smoke. We don't smoke, says smoke. Let me give you a story. So when I went in the military, way back when, because I am from Jamaica, well, I came here from Jamaica, and I went to the military 3 months after coming to the US. So, so I don't spend no time. I learned the US. I come, I see no money on the table. I say, you know what? Go up on my own here, man. I about 18 time there. I went to the military. For the first 3 months, nobody spoke to me in my platoon. Mr. People, nobody. If it's somebody by myself. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. I didn't really curse. And after 3 months, somebody come to me and say, talk to me, say, how are you from Jamaica? I smoke weed. I drink. I said, what do you mean? Most of my friends in Jamaica don't smoke weed and drink. And he's like, yeah, the reason why we didn't talk to you because we thought you were part of like I must say internal affairs or the police because they're the only person who operate like that. And I was like, damn, that's the perception people have of people in Jamaica. Them are weed smoker and drinker. Most of my friends, even today, they may drink a beer here and there, but they don't really drink and they don't smoke. Most of the people me know as friends, they not drink and smoke. And most people, them drink a little thing on the side, but them not a big drinker, not a rum drinker. I mean, I don't know nobody what my friends who are rum drinker. So it's a little bit different. But it's very funny, that point where nobody talked to me for 3 months and eventually it happened. People are 20, we still need 21 more likes, 79 likes. We have certain things on this program which we adhere to. One of them is that the hosts have certain requirements and they have to be met before the hosts go into certain topics. Because I know you all came here to hear about just one thing, and so I'll leave right after me done. So I might as well make the likes them before me go. And yeah, Rudolph, hit the like button, because we know you're in the chat. Hit the like button, because this program is about you. You're on the JFF, but it's mainly about you. So hit the like button, because I know you want your episode where you go about your business. Hit the like button, people. We have 119 people, we have 85 likes, we have 50 more to go, 50 more to go, 50 more to go. 50 more to go, people. And to not hit the like button, we not have no program, And it's not cranky, I bad up nobody. Me not bad up nobody. All right. Them coming already. Speid defenders here. People blame Speid for water shortage in Jamaica. Speid is in Miami at the CONCACAF office trying to get the Caribbean pro. Okay, fine. I'm glad you know his whereabouts. You sound like you're a good Christian, cranky. Great principle. I was never a Christian, I just believe in goodness generally. I've always said this: you can't influence me if you don't want to. So even though I got pressure to drink, he used to call me like Billy the Kid. You want some milk? Let me go party now. Come party enough, You want some milk, sir? Me go buy a juice. Say you buy a juice for your lady, and she wants some white wine, and you say you want water. Then like, you want some milk? Can we get you some milk? I said to yourself, so why? People can take peer pressure can't bother me. Peer pressure never bother me. You can't convince me to no want to. Can't convince me to rob nobody, go do nothing, no, sorry, it not happen. Never mind on my own. It always be that way. And never change to me leader right here. Me have my own mind, you can't tell me what to do. DC said, I don't drink or smoke. Had some rum drinkers in my family and the baby was always a big turn off. Yeah, that's always a turn off, when you have people who, for a bad example. Just in Miami to what into Miami. But Umbrella Sports, since he thinks you know what the reason is. People, we have 10 more likes we need to get. We have 47 people hitting the like button. I know someone don't know I'm going to hit people. I know someone know. I mean, I know one not hit the like button. That's dead first. But you know, want to come get information, but not hit the like button. So no stay. When they call them Jamaica on a bad mind, on a bad mind. So you can't stay with the bad mind. No start at 100. You can't stay with the bad mind. Because I can't stay all night. Nathan said, why Nolan never start? That me want to know to Nathan, because I know the player them, because I don't watch him kind of football there. I still don't understand why Nathan. I see Nolan play one half, but how was the best player on the field? I don't understand it, but that's a different story for a different day. We'll go through all of that. We'll start, people, when we get 8 more likes. 8 more likes and we start. Come, people, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, people, so we can start. Hit the like button, we can start, people. If you do so, we will start the program. No, we are at 97. We need 3 more likes, people, and we can start the program. We're getting close to the destination. People are going to say because the man in Miami can't watch the program. Because we know, so look call him and tell him, Because you say, me I fight him. Me not fight. Hey, me and Rudolph and get along at one point, Still haven't had it. I don't have any animosity towards Rudolph. People think me have animosity. No, sir. Me have animosity towards failure. Me have animosity towards incompetence. Me have animosity towards things when I work. Me have animosity towards changes that are not occurring that should occur. Me have animosity towards dinosaurs. Me have animosity towards who people who discriminate. We are 100 now. So 99 now. Mine said 99. All right, 100 now. Let me start. So here's my view. So Jamaica football, to me, fall apart. And it's not by accident. The JFF is failing us. And at the heart of that failure, the main man to me, even though not him at the head of JFF, is Conflict's boss. And Conflict's boss is treating the JFF like I'm like a side project, because him see a part-time job. Now, this show is about accountability. for the continuous failures of the Jamaica football junior teams, and it needs to be addressed. And no people don't want to address it. Traditional media in Jamaica has failed us miserably. They should be doing expose on this. Why is Reggae Boys community calling me when I just start my dissertation? Why not tell you, boy? We're not answering. We're not ready to answer yet. We got you everything. Now, people, we can't just start the program and we start talking and you call me. And that's how it works. Okay? Let's think about it. We're going to talk about today. The failures of Jamaica football on almost every level. How Rudolph, conflicts boss, technical leadership has been disastrous. And why some people in JFF and Rudolph must be removed for any hope of progress. Now, we have a different perspective. You know? Someone else said, "When disagree with me, I fool the prerogative. This is my view." So if you vex about what I said, me can't help you. Me can't help you. That's your prerogative. It's your right to be vexed. You know what I'm saying? Here's what we always do. Let's talk about a brief history of Jamaica football. All right? We come here to the last 2 years. So if you look at Jamaica football and different components of it, the media component is getting much better. That has been run by Simon now. And no matter what you want to say, there's material improvement in how we have press conferences and how things are work. Yes, I complain about some of the writings they do when more recent, for example, we had failure. I call it failure in the streaming of the game from Montego Bay, right? I think that was a colossal failure, the initial one, and they did a good job of trying to correct it by giving the second one free. And secondly, in that instance, I thought the write-up to apologize was more defensive than offensive. Offensive means I take accountability. At least offensive to me, I take accountability. I've done something wrong. I want it corrected. I appreciate stakeholders. I appreciate fans. I'm telling them I'm sorry and I'm going to own it. That's what I should be doing. That's not what we did. We wrote some talk about how much viewership we had and how it was the service provider who were poor. That's not how businesses work. That's not how real business, real corporate, real professionals work. That's not what they do. They basically say, you know what? I fall on the sword. We were terrible. We own it. We're going to try to make sure it never happen again. Fix it. Thanks for your help. We're going to serve you. And you move on. That's what I do. We also like to go back to history. Oh, 1998. 1998, we did this. And 98, we did that. I picked up another video. You'll play it for now. Because everybody I know say, boy, 98, that's 27 years ago.
Like Maron said,
but when Rene Simoes was here, he was kind of... I might ask you to explain that laugh in a minute.
I can explain why I started to laugh. Okay. Because it's the common tongue in Jamaica. Said when Rene Simoes was here, and when 98 was here. You get what I'm saying? I respect what he did thoroughly, wholeheartedly, but it becomes a fallacy of Jamaican football. Like Maron said, you think you can do the same kind of thing 25 years later? I mean, even Madonna's changed her face a numerous amount of times with her music style. So there you go. But the main fallacy is don't live in the past, try to look at the future and take accountability for this, take decisions for the future, not dwell on something in the past.
You know how much time we hear about 98 people? What we doing at 98? 27, when Simmons was here before 98, so I call it 27, 28 years. People, some people up on the channel no problem not even born before them time there. That's how we hear about 98. We all agree we should learn from the future because it informs, or learn from the past because it informs the future. But we're not tired of hearing about 98. We go World Cup 27 years ago. We're in a region where we have the raw material to get to almost every single World Cup. We have had material failure at the leadership level. We have a set of people globally of Jamaicans, US, Canada, UK, That's why we're materially situated, but we're in other countries. We're in Holland, we're in Spain, we're everywhere. With kids who, if they were better recruited, better informed, better engaged, want to play for Jamaica, would have a pot of goal of players who could play for us. But we have some quota system. We have a quota system. We deny people who are Jamaican citizens the right to play. And Rudolph Speid is the architect of that. Conflicts boss, the architect. Everybody knows we have raw talent. Everybody knows we have passion. What we don't have is the right leadership. It's not just Rudolph Speid. I've said this before. I like Michael Ricketts. You know, Michael Ricketts reminds me of a CEO I used to have in my last job. He left before I left. He was somebody I respect truly. You would never know he has more money than God, because he actually does. Rich beyond belief. But when he engages you, he actually make you believe that, you know what? And he doesn't make believe. It's real that, you know what? You matter. You're a person who matter. He and I had a big run-in one day, and I learned a lesson not to have a run-in with him again because I thought he was just a softie. It was a difficult conversation. But the next day he saw me, you think we never had a run-in. In front of people, by the way, people. Right? But he was, I won't say who he is, but he was also vice chair of the Fed for the US at one point. Just a really brilliant person. Great, just a great person. And one day he was talking to me for about 2 hours because I had become guardian for a couple of kids, and he talked to me about 2 hours, and he was truly interested. That's Michael Ricketts. When you engage him, you feel like, you know what? He wants to engage you. When he saw me in Dallas, he was like, Cranky, what are you doing? I like Michael Ricketts. But Michael Ricketts, you have to lead. You're not leading. The reason I mentioned my old boss, he hated confrontation. He hated those difficult decisions. And people used to criticize him behind his back because of that. When you're a leader, when you are the person running an organization, you have to make decisions that are uncomfortable. And I use this term, I see you in the corporate. You have to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. That's the only way you will make truly progress in your life. That's why Jamaican coaches, a lot of them don't go nowhere, because they have put themselves in an uncomfortable environment to maximize their potential, to improve their resume, improve who they are. They haven't put themselves out to get uncomfortable, which then maximize their learnings. That's a problem. So we keep talking about history. We go 98 World Cup. It's after a while, it gets annoying. And it's not a good thing. The president has allowed conflicts boss to run roughshod over the JFF. It's not debatable. He does. I get a lot, where I sit in my little studio, you want to call it, I get a lot of calls from people. Jamaica, the UK, the US. The theme I get is conflicts boss. Y'all hear me? The theme I get is conflicts boss. All the people who deal with him are the same thing. What I normally get is, he might push Cavaliers people in everything that we do. He makes bad decisions. He doesn't have accountability. The JFF is a part-time job. All he cares about is Cavalier. Let me give you an example. The last under-17 team, that failed to qualify the World Cup, that to me is almost unforgivable. Given their ability, given how long they were together, and given who they were playing. FIFA watered down the World Cup so badly that anybody and their mother can't make the World Cup. And we still can't make it. And we're better than the team that went in the zone. He had 5 people as part of the contingent. I don't remember all of them, but I know the doctor, the manager, it may have been an equipment manager, the goalkeeper coach. You have 5 people, 5 covered people. Now, I'm not saying that you can't, people have to be from clubs to support this. But every time they have something with them go, you might have 4, 5, 6 people on it. When they have team, you might have Cavaliers people in it. If they have Cavaliers people in there, sometimes things aren't in the game done. We get a call from England about them thing there. People frustrated like hell. I'm said to myself, you know what? That's how I draw a cranky. Get us cool, man. People sometimes just, they don't get them way and them get, but after a while, it's a theme. And when themes occur, you gotta go look in the mirror. So don't want to defend the man because he might have some success and him beat. I want him to go beat Inter Miami or Kansas City. I don't care. I want to make as much money as possible. Him say me bad mind because he win $500,000. But if he knew me, he would know that doesn't make a damn sense to me. I don't care. First of all, he was my first interview. And he did the interview, I said it 1,000 times, from Europe, 1 o'clock in the morning. I appreciate it. I have nothing against him. I've always said he's a smart man. but him too smart for him one good. He might use the JFF. And we supposed to have a technical director. We don't have a technical director. He's a technical director. He is the person who run the show. When there's downs, well, I want to be, I don't know when there's from a hole in the wall. Have you ever seen when they don't come out and talk about nothing? He's a figurehead. In fact, he's like a plaque on the wall. Not do nothing. The football is not going anywhere. The youths are being disenfranchised because they're not getting good coaching. The coaching is atrocious. We're engaging with, we have an MOU with Trinidad for failure. Or MOU with Trinidad is for failure. Thank you, UpLab. I appreciate your comment. Sounds good. Or MOU because both Trinidad and Jamaica feel accordingly. Right? Kill each other like crazy. Somebody sent me a video today. Sickening video in Trinidad. Kill each other like crazy. But when it comes to football, they have an MOU for what? MOU for failure? It's crazy. Those of you who are upset with Crank Codes, I'm going to say, you think I give a damn? I don't care if you're upset. That's your problem. I'm talking facts here. Here's the thing people need to understand. Let me sit up because I don't understand this. He's head of the technical committee. He basically said a couple of years ago, because on a program with him, they evaluate each tournament we go into. They assess how things work, right? They do a post-mortem and they then publicize what it is. They may not publicize the public, right? Who assessed the technical committee? The technical committee and the technical director about their performance. They have been awful, atrocious, terrible, useless, incompetent. What other words can I use? They're not good. A waste of time. Waste of time, all of them. Them forgot. Rudolph Speid, I was told that FIFA doesn't support the conflicts that Rudolph Speid had with Jamaica. May I tell you that right now? But that Michael Ricketts is the only person who can change that. And Michael Ricketts then is not doing his job. Hey, me like Michael Ricketts. Me communicate with him once in a while. He's always been professional with me. He's always been nice to me. But me call it like me see it. Me call it like me see it. Me not have no check. Me not have no partiality. This is not a bun thing. Me I call it like me see it. The man is the coach for Cavaliers. He is the sporting director for Cavaliers. He's the owner of Cavaliers. And then he's also technical director for JFF. And then he have some credit from some credit union company. Where him have time for JFF? JFF is like a part-time thing when he just use him one purpose. And someone I come in church, I cuss crank and F this, F that. You F no bother me, my youth. UpLab. Leave the forum if you don't like me, I say. Please leave the forum if you like what I'm saying. You could cuss all you want, cuss. You only inspire me to talk more. That's how you do it. You must think, I'm afraid of people. Conflicts boss, his role is intolerable. It's not, and he might push the quota thing. Okay, you know the quota important? Can you get in Cavalier players in the national team? Now we are, you know something? Toxic boss is right, you know. But because toxic boss is so toxic, no people don't want to hear him have to say. And because of how he presents himself, nobody want to hear what he has to say. Because him just as bad. He's right about what how conflicted Speid is, but all he wants to do is get his players in the position where Speid players are. Where's the whole national pride and the need for Jamaica to do well? Where is that? It's all about me. So the country is suffering now in a lot of ways. It's all about the individual. It's not about the collective. It's not what I can do for Jamaica. It's what Jamaica can do for me. He has to go. We don't have no clear footballing philosophy. He's been the road since 2020. Downs have been it in 2017. We have no football philosophy. We have poor player selection. We have people for the national team, no building the national team. Me and him said the other day that 4 people from the 2 games in Trinidad can progress to the national team. If that is not a bunch of, you just FIFA some bad word star. What 4 players did you see in those 2 games that progressed to the national team? What 4 players from any of the 2 teams, both Trinidad and Jamaica, progressed to which national team? And competed against who? The US, Panama, Mexico, Canada, and where and when? He said he has Cafu and Roberto Carlos in his team. What are they? Mannequins? You have them Panama someplace in our office? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? You have Cafu and Roberto Carlos. What are we? Some kind of joke thing? What is the thing? This is a joke? We have failed to develop our youth. We have failed to have a strategic process to put in infrastructure so the youth them can progress. poor coaching, poor selection, poor management, poor. We don't develop the person. We try to develop the footballer. We don't develop the person, their mindset. May I do a program, by the way, this week on Thursday and Friday, before the game. He has academy in North Carolina. We're going to talk about some of these things and try to educate and inform. And he's always, from I know, forcing his players on staff. We have 5 coaches who have left the national program. I said this 1,000 times. None of them no left because of performance. Let me say that again. I have never heard that in my life in any company. 5 people who left the national program, coaching program. None of those individuals left because of poor performance. Wow. And people don't think that's upsetting. And that's cause for pause. And that's cause for consternation. And that's cause for concern. Really, we don't think so? We think that's okay? And then he will tell us some bullshit about, oh, John Wall got reassigned because he can't do 2 jobs at one. And you morons will buy into that bullshit. Really? Really? When he and I argued about Spain, and I say, no, we should get a coach from Spain. We got some recycle coach from England. How many coaches in England? This is not to knock England. Are doing truly well in England with football. How many English coaches? David Moyes is now at Everton doing well. We have, what's his name, being recycled and at West Ham. Aren't the coaches in England doing well? Are they Spanish coaches? Most of them? I'm confused. He used to argue about Spain and he said, what has Spain done lately? Blah, blah, blah. Like the man don't know about football. Like a bush him come from. Seriously. We select a coach past his prime, talk good. The man said, oh, on the 14 team one day, beat Suriname. Suriname? No, French Guyana 7-0. It's wonderful. Can you believe that? It means that you don't know anything about football in this region. That's what it says. All it says is that you don't know football in this region. That's all it says. You don't understand how this works. And I keep telling you guys this actually. Football in the Caribbean is not Jamaica's benchmark. That's why we lose to. Me confuse people. But that's something. Me confuse. This is our last 4 junior team trying to qualify for the World Cup. You see what the Reds say? Fail to qualify. Fail to qualify. Fail to qualify. Fail. 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 Fail has become a theme. Fail has become normalized. And in no instance has the JFF come out and explained to the public and the stakeholders why we fail. None. Them go hide. Them put a under 14 for camouflage thing. They go and hide. Rudolph Speid is in charge of technical committee, who's in charge of the coaches who he select for these teams, who's in charge of the technical aspect of the football. Him oversee all it. Him own it. And in most companies, when failure occur in your department, you go. That's why he needs to go. And those of you who are protesting vehemently, me can't help you. Me cannot help you. I must say what's on my mind. Me can't help you. He owns it. When does the people in JFF get fired, people? We fire the coach them. Even the one them who do well. Lord Donaldson got fired in the second World Cup. Right? Hawkinson left because he said the man professional. The last under 20 girls coach, his contract was not reviewed. He don't know why up to now. He doesn't know why up to now his contract was not renewed. We put in a new coach, they don't know what they might do. Lose the game in a something minute. What are we talking about? And someone like what name? Fool up lab. Up your, you know, I come here, come cost my man trying to talk about say, oh, me S with this and with bad man. Go take a whatever. The point of the matter is people. It's upsetting someone who's a fool like you uplab. Fool, have no sense. You guys don't look at the facts and draw your own conclusion. I don't know who you are and I really don't care. But the failures are material. People look on it. We get 15 love for the under 20. We haven't heard, up to now, we haven't heard zip. Not one word. Why they're trying to get 15 love? We know you're nothing. You hear me I say? Nothing. We fight against overseas-based players, and then we want to come play if we when they reach 22, 23. We told them we don't want our junior teams because we have to make sure we give exposure to our players who are a lot of times not good enough, and we have to fight against them. People desperate to get them boys in. Bless up. Good evening.
Good night. Thanks for having me.
You only have 5 minutes. I'm telling everyone now. The calls are 5 minutes tonight.
Okay, I wanna give you kudos for what you're doing tonight. Like I keep on telling you all the time, the talent is not there locally to solve the problem. Whether at the managerial level or at the player level, it's not there. And you know, it's people like you who must speak up and step up and call out these people. You know, and what you're doing tonight is a breath of fresh air. You know, people like Ryan have been saying this for a while. you know what I mean? And you know, I was thinking about something. The JFF board needs something other than election to have turnovers. And I am thinking that qualifying for the World Cup can be a benchmark where if the team doesn't qualify for the World Cup, the entire board is fired.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but let me just say this. I want people to take this way. The JFF is not doing anything right? I am very pleased with the trying to identify revenue streams, like the subscription model to stream games outside of Windows, outside of CONCACAF, and generate more revenues to do more things. I am supportive of that. I'm supportive of changes in the media composition of the team and of marketing. I'm very cognizant of this. But the product you put on the field has to be the main thing for the organization. You can't market an inferior product. You can't have press conference about an inferior product. You need the product to be good.
I agree with you, and you know, and that's the reason why I am saying, you know, use the product on the field, which is type of a World Cup qualifying where, based on how the team perform, we grade the board based on how the team performs. You know, I think you said, you know, for an entire board might be too strong, but some turnover has to go on when the team does not qualify. And something that I observed that gets overlooked. When a coach is hired and the coach does not perform, the person who hires the coach should be examined as well. You know, and the coach cannot be relieved and there is business as usual. You hire the coach, so you must take responsibility for the coach's performance as well.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that because, look, in a lot of companies, the people who are in the executive seat get more latitude, but at some point, they will have a board over them who will assess their performance, right? Who assess the performance of the technical director and the technical committee and the head of the technical committee? Who assess them? Because he's the one who select these coaches, you know, and fire them or reassign them or don't renew their contract, as he calls it. And he has no accountability, especially with the ones who do well and he still get rid of them. He has no accountability. He has no check. He doesn't check. Ricketts is not checking him. He's conflicted and the conflicts are not managed. And I call it out day after day. I'm tired of the nonsense. His conflict doesn't work. He needs to go. Period. Thank you, Carla. Appreciate the call.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Needs to go. I have nothing. Let me tell some people. Everybody feed that food, like people always say. I have nothing against Rudolph Speid. Nice man. As I said before, first person on my channel. Appreciate him coming on. Nice person. Doing well with Cavaliers. I hope he beats whoever he plays and make more money and more money and more and can print money. But I love Jamaica football. I'm retired to see the junior team and get them ass kicked. And in a bad way too. Because he has his quota system, enforcing players in the team. He doesn't hire the right people for the job. Him get the coach him should get rid of. And we end up in a malaise and nobody checks him. He's failing miserably for the team. 4 people, look on the board. 4 teams. The under-17 team that making the World Cup is heresy. They were the best team in their zone. They failed. The defense, I kick the ball like they never play football in their life. Just kick with the ball themselves. They have good players in the midfield, good players up front, and can't get the ball, can just kick with the ball. There was no coaching occurring. So the coach won that. No coach occurring. Good night. Good night. 5 minutes. Medea, what are you saying, man?
Medea, I can't cook with that coach straight, you know.
I hear you. What do you have to say?
Boy, when I can't step over, me now step in a boy. Bit tight, me boy.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But when me ask a cranky, you have to beat them. There's a saying that beat the man and give him jacket. So what you say, but look on the good where the man do at the same time.
What for the national team? What's the good?
But all right, like you say, there's argument going around to Speid as first player in the team, right? So you know what Jamaica call them strong, the senior squad, right? And one player from Cavaliers usually sometime in the squad and a king. And he hardly play. So
Right.
me, I would imagine if me a force a player in our team, would have put them in the team where they get more exposure, and no other team get more exposure than the senior team.
How many Cavaliers
So-
players with the under 20 that got 15 love?
A lot, but look at it the way. Remember, so most of Cavaliers players them are young. So
Yeah, but we also have diaspora players, don't we?
yes.
Okay. So if I have my big quota, I stick to my quota, I'll get more players in, right? Because I have a young team normally, correct? So I have a good methodology and a good model I deployed and employ to allow my players to get in the team.
You know, I respect you, but if you ask me a question and you have an answer in your mind for me, let me answer.
Okay, answer it.
All right. So this is what I learned, right? All of these things, quota things, Mr. Speid don't take the blame for people, but I hear all of these things is down to the parish president, right?
Okay.
I just show you. All right, like me, you know, me not afraid to talk, right? I'm sure Mr. Speid not afraid to talk. Apparently, as I say, I don't know, but apparently, him get blamed for a lot of things where him not do, and a lot of time him a try to do good. And all right, one goal never score yesterday. You gonna tell me some Mr. Speid say Miami and stop that one goal left and score yesterday?
I think it's a very shallow way you're thinking about this. There is the strategic part of what you do that enables you to be successful on the field. You have a program which have to develop your kids to perform at a certain level. You select the kids that fit into the coach's program. So a coach who's going to deploy what you want to get deployed. You make sure the coach's strategy he's going to employ fits those kids that he has, and you make sure they go out on the field and execute. So when we look at the ultimate outcome as the barometer and the judge and the basis to assess how we did, that may not be the criteria that you utilize. You got to go back and look into root cause when you do this. We have never heard from the JFF ever in any of these 4 situations we have now. What the hell happened? Where's the postmortem that's been done? Provide its audience and its stakeholders with why we failed.
Right, which is a fair point. But look at it that way, right? So as we speak, right? Me just happen. Me just I got to talk about the work when me I try to do for my football and my country. So as we speak, right? Me there in Miami in a hotel, because me I try to find a band down here. Just in case Cavaliers win, we can have a band. And me happen to know some Mr. Speid there at the CONCACAF office in Miami. I try get pro-life coach for coaching at the Caribbean and in Jamaica.
Okay.
Nobody not talk about that. All right. The next thing, right? The man, the JPL Women Premier League, we are going. The man are the major organizer behind that. Nobody talk about that. But every day, sometimes we can talk, but we have to talk good and talk bad, right? All right. Me can execute. All right. I can give you a joke, right? So me there in America, right? And me they want a banner to reach a Montego Bay to display at the game down there. Me execute it to the best of my ability, but I don't know where my banner is. It get lost, or one man hit one other man and it just get lost down the line. Sometimes you see things get messed up down the line. But me realize everything with at the top, Mr. Speid take care right. The thing that went down the line where if him get a coach, the coach just not deliver. And the man was bold enough to get rid of Al Grimson in time. Time to say Al Grimson never deliver. In the 2, even though we won the last 2 World Cup qualifier, we should have done better. And the man get rid of Al Grimson. So I don't know. It's a cranky. Everybody different, but me as a man, when me listen with my brains and me analyze things for myself, and me not go with it. I will always be me, and I don't go with the flow. I'm going dead fish alone go with the flow.
Though, appreciate the call. Your perspective, can't fight your perspective. I would say this though. I think it's not fair to say he doesn't get accolades when he does well. Right? So I was one of the first people to text him, even though him say I know people text him, you don't really care, when he won the Caribbean Championship. Even though we weren't necessarily getting along, I texted him and congratulated him and said, well, he did a brilliant job in coaching and how he took off his play after about 10 minutes because it was needed to be done, but he should make sure he managed the player because the player maybe it hurt for life after that, what transpired. I give credit where credit is due. Even tonight, I give the JFF credit for their streaming. When people say you don't give accolades, you know what they hear? They hear the supposed negative, and that's all they focus on. Because it's just like you get your evaluation. You don't look about the 10 things they say you did well. It's the 2 things you didn't do well, you focus on. Same thing you just said again tonight. But I appreciate the call.
Let me just say this and close it. But Cranky, let me tell you, say, you see, sometimes I always say after the conjunction mean the most, you know. So you say, all right, I am not a marketer, but I think me have a little bit of sense. You see, anything where you say, if you want people to take it positive, say the best thing last. So if you ever say she fat and she look good, you should have said she fat, then you say she look good.
Dub, you know, there's something which is incorrect tonight, and let you slide with it. You said Speid got rid of Hagrimson. Hagrimson fired Speid.
Hagrimson fired Speid?
Yes. Speid never fired Hagrimson. He fired Jamaica Football. That's not debatable. Right. That's not debatable. They were happy he left and didn't have to pay him any money. That's not debatable. He left Jamaica because they were unprofessional. That's not debatable. It's a fact. I was the one who said they shouldn't have taken his resignation because Ireland would have to pay him if they wanted to take him. They didn't fire Hagrimson.
All right, listen, man.
Don't make Speid tell. If Speid tell you that.
No, I have no personal contact with Mr. Speid. I don't do that.
Okay. Well, don't listen to anybody telling you that they fire Hagrimson. That's nonsense.
Yeah, but what I hear.
They fire John Wall, then they fire Hagrimson.
From Hagrimson, they up on the sideline representing the country in dirty shorts. From that time, the thing just started breakdown.
Why you have to say dirty shorts? He was on the sideline. He wasn't in a suit. See, you just do the same thing you just talked about. You denigrate the man at the end of what you're saying.
Cranky, that's another story for another day. Okay, we'll read.
Bless up, Dub Hub. Thanks for the call. Right. People that was Dub Hub, you know, we're going to have debates on this channel. They're always going to say, people, what I'm focused on is these red lines here. So those of you who are Speid supporter, nothing wrong with supporting him. He's done well for Cavaliers. He's in the last 16 of the Caribbean Cup. He avoided certain rounds, right? He's going to play a big team. He may even have Messi in Jamaica. Nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing. More power to him. I hope he wins. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Colonel.
Who am I speaking to? CC, good night. How you doing?
Good night. I'm doing okay, you know. So I just turned on my phone.
CC is 5 minutes. CC is 5 minutes. Got people are calling. Phone hot. Go ahead.
I just turned on my phone and go somewhere I look for YouTube. I see one list say fail to qualify.
But people get to, is my list wrong? Is my list wrong? I don't know list wrong. Is my list wrong? People, tell me if my list wrong. Tell me list wrong.
No, my list not wrong, country. Your list not wrong. You know, I mean, we have so much fail to qualify over the years, so I mean, it is.
No, but CC, let me just say this before you go further. I understand we're not tough. When we have the US and Canada and Mexico and Costa Rica, we deal without even Panama, we can say, you know what, we try. When we be given a zone with El Salvador, CC, and we have practiced for 2 years, CC, we don't have no excuse.
Yeah. I'm not. There's no excuse. I'm coming to giving a country. But that's thing I'm talking about beating, and where beating is to be placed out. Number one, the U20 for men, JFF get beaten. Right through. Although JFF get beaten in everyone, you know. But they beaten upon JFF 100%. Not even give where the guy the name wait to get basket to carry water. But not give no beat. As in couldn't do no work no miracle right there. So 100% JFF now. The other one that comes the U17, the boys, to me Cranky, the one that to me are the coach and the coaching staff. Failure to prepare for a game where you go play against a team. Not even there was even this conversation. The people said the El Salvadorans had a report on the Jamaica team, and the Jamaica them what them have vibes.
Yeah, I heard that Salvador had analytics and report. Yes, I've heard that.
Exactly, and we have vibes going into the game. That is on the coach because all right, the JFF part is like, you know, the man that other people would have taken, the coach and other persons would have said, taken the time out to go organize the team. But guess what happened? Without the JFF giving their blessing, there couldn't be no team. So in that scenario, I'm saying they had adequate time to prepare. Certain things we don't really want to go back over to discuss. But on the given, on the time, at the given point in time, Cranky, you have the squad, when you win the first 2 games, when you just need to not lose this game, and you went out there on vibes. They must get beaten.
Yeah.
And vibes. The coach, that failure to qualify is on the coaching staff. And Yeah, as me say, all of it is on JFF, which is fine. But the first one, 100% on JFF. Failure to prepare, you fail to prepare, you prepare to fail. If this, as them say, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. The
Yep.
first one, we never had enough time. The second one, U17, there was a lot of preparation going on. Whomever them wants it, they had a lot of preparation going on. And to come into if you did so much preparation going into the tournament, the basic thing to do when you're going to play El Salvador is to do some report, to some analytics on El Salvador. I was listening to a Neil Warnock interview the other day, and Pep was saying he would like to be the manager back in the day where he could look in the player eye and say, do this, do that. But now it's all about tactics, wide angles, analytics, all of these things. So you're telling me that we go into a game and you don't prepare. For the female U17, JFF, 100%. See the U20 last night I watched. I mean I say, and again with the coaching staff. I don't know if these guys they just don't prepare because the players look technically sound, cranky. They look like good players.
Yeah, I think CC for the under 17, what I saw was they needed improvement in the defense and in the goal. I don't like to beat kids who are like 16, but I mean the attitude of the goalkeeper and his performance didn't match his attitude, to be honest. Even though the shots were hard to him, but he should have done better. But you're right, the coaching was lacking. It was lacking.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, for the U20 women, I was watching the girls, and they look technically sound. They look like they know what the thing that I always say. There's four, as I say, everyone knows this in football. There's four pillars: tactical, technical, physical, mental. The girls look like they're the technical because to me, you don't really need coach to really have technical side of it, because they can get a ball and you practice and you go technical side of it. But the tactical side of it, the tactical side of it deals with playing together, knowing when to make the run, knowing when to, move in this space, knowing when to zonal mark, knowing if you should man mark or player mark. As a woman, where do you player mark? So knowing when to player mark, knowing when to do a zonal marking, knowing when to get into different space. All of those things are coaching. So for me, the coaching let down two teams, mainly the U20 girls and the U17 boys. Coaching let them down, Frankie. Coaching let them down. Because you must know how to manage the games in moments. Football is a game of moments. Sometimes you have team play for 90 minutes and it is in moments you lose the game and it's in moments you win the game, Frankie. And we lost the game against El Salvador in moments. We lost.
CC, I don't believe in moments. I believe in decision making. I keep hearing coaches like Arteta, everybody talk about moments, and I hear Rudolph talk about moments. It's decisions you made at a certain point in time that drive the moment that occurs.
Right,
so if you coach them right, they'll make the right decision, and the moments will be in your favor. Okay, but I understand what you're saying. I sense it because all coaches use moments nowadays.
All right, put it like this then. Moving from that, even the coaching making a certain decision at a certain point in time.
Yeah.
Like taking off a player where they know a player is on a card and this player cannot make a tackle because they're afraid they get a red card, and then you go down to 10 players. So you coach have to know at that point in time, knowing when to take time off the clock. Remember, the football is not like the NFL where the clock stops now. So the clock is always running. So the clock is always running. Some of the time you can cheat. There's this thing called dark card. Some of the time you can cheat the clock. But it's the way in which you're doing it, because this comes to decision making and how your substitutions are being made. And when it's like, I just don't understand. For me, I think we lack the tactical side of football. And years ago, you could have gotten away with it because I think football played before. Football was mainly a technical side of it. So if you had technically gifted players or technically sound players, you could go through and qualify for a tournament.
So CC, I have a question for you, CC. Because you have 1 more minute. I have a question for you. What's the one thing common to all four teams?
The one thing common in terms of what? They want to the quota?
The quota is in all four. Of course, this all four teams are permitted to be quota.
The quota is...
I think the team that they have the quota for the women's made the second round of the World Cup. I think the men's team is doing okay. Yeah. The men's team of a what we call a topical quota. People may not admit it. And I've been told by a good source they have a topical quota in the men's team. No matter what anybody want to say.
I don't think quota should exist. Right?
The quota permeates all the junior team. Permeates them.
So I'm going to say, but I'm saying, remember make two statements, but this is my last thing. I think quota system is wrong and it should not be in any other teams, right? That's one.
Yeah.
And second, I feel as if even if there wasn't quota, these teams would not qualify.
It's possible. We can come up with what if scenarios.
I know, but I'm just saying it should not. I'm saying at the end of the day, I'm not saying should have quota in our, but I'm saying no quota should be there. But the problem that we're going to still be faced with is mediocre coaching. So
and here's another thing about that, CC, before you go. I'll just say this, people, about coaching, which is this. I have never heard the JFF say, you know what? We had a coaching delegation that went to Spain, Belgium, the UK. They met with XYZ. We have brought back certain learnings. All me about, we go Trinidad. We have Trinidad people. And Trinidad feel like we're in football. Same people that feel like we failure teach failure how we feel.
We need to say one more thing, Grant. We need to say one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've said this a lot of times to people. When it comes down to players and coaches in Jamaica, the players are far more qualified than the coaches. And what I mean by that is you have far more players being exported. You have always have players being exported, but in terms of the players and their exposure internationally, far more players have exposure internationally than coaches. We don't have 10 coaches that have a certain level of exposure on an international stage. Vis-a-vis when I look at the players.
But you have to leave the island to get the exposure now to TC. You know that, right?
And that's what I'm talking about. I'm saying to you that if you know is a player now, Frankie, let them go to Europe and start playing in Europe and getting coached by coaches that have more experienced coaches. When I come back and play for Jamaica and they have one of those coach one corner league or so, it's going to be a joke because certain methodology he will not be privy to. It's just what it is, It's not like you're disrespecting anybody, You're just not going to be privy to certain methodologies because you're not exposed to the material and you're not exposed to the environment.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So therefore, the player and the coach will be at a discontent. This is like the player will say, all right, one thing is leveling up in Europe and he must say, do this, do that. And then when he comes back, even if the player went to South America, it's the same thing. Because we don't have coaches that have been exposed and leaving the island, going, for example, in MLS. If I should have a Tyrone Marshall or one of those guys come and coach, it would be better off than a coach that was in Jamaica.
But CC, what you can't deny though, CC, is that you're saying the coaching at the right level, but the players overseas who would get, especially in the UK, they're getting good coaching. So that would help, right? We're not saying it's a guarantee you're going to make World Cup. The last under 20 that failed before this one, I think I had about 5 English players who were probably in the starting 11, 4 or 5 of them. They did better. They didn't get no 15 love, but they didn't get over the line.
I'm going to show you something. Remember the last time we qualified for a World Cup, Youth World Cup, the coach, Wendell Downswell, was that coach, right?
Yeah.
Wendell Downswell, at that time, was the most qualified local coach on the island. At the most, went to different things overseas, at the most exposure. What that is telling something, I think at one point in time, I think 2 other local coach qualified one team. So I think it was Jackie Walters and somebody else.
We about 2 qualifications in the last 20 years.
No, I mean the 1999 qualification was by 2 other local coaches. But I'm saying the coaches that were involved with those programs, they had more exposure than the coaches that we are utilizing right now.
Yeah.
And if a person tell me, say, it would be better if we got 20 players from the UK that are far more developed than who was there, fine. But I still think the coaching will let him know because at the end of the day, the coach is going to be the one.
So they need to get better coaches then.
Exactly, because the coach are going to decide who start Frankie, and the coach is going to decide who come off when they come off. The coach is going to decide the tactics. The coach is deciding all of that. It's not like the players them from UK are going to go out there and go play, and another coach are going to tell them what to do in terms of what the tactics are. So at the end of the day, I still believe if you don't improve the coaching, the team them now are going to win.
No, I agree. Appreciate the call, CC. Appreciate the call. Bless CC. Thanks. Hello, CC. Okay. I see Paul Edwards is in form. He said the players always say that youth have a similar to our youths. Whatever, Paul Edwards. If you think so, you're in that dreamland that the rest of the people them will keep failing. So if they're similar to our youths, that means these players, and I had, here's the thing, Paul Edwards. I had 14 players who were under 20 who played for a bunch of teams overseas, including one which was the captain for Ajax under 17. I had a bunch of players from some of the best academies in England for the under 20 and for the and some were 15, 16 invited to a camp at Man U last year in March. Didn't occur, and I had the list. I still have the list. Some of the best academies in the UK, in the world, and you're saying our players are similar to them. It's the same fallacy and nonsense people like you keep on spreading 24/7, and then we go get our asses kicked playing against teams in CONCACAF who sometimes can't compete with teams in the rest of the world. And 3 of those players who are in the 15, 16 age group who should have gone to that camp, and they're Jamaica nationals, are in the England team that give Turkey 8, the same team that give us 10, but they're the same level of players. I keep hearing this narrative from some of you. Let me be calm. I'm going to call your name that comes to mind, Paul Edwards. People like you are Jamaica's problem. People like you, Paul Edwards, are Jamaica's problem. I lose my voice. You're a Jamaican problem. You have no idea what good looks like. None. And because you don't know what good looks like and you think you do, that's the thing, that inflated ego, that inflated perspective, that view that you know what good looks like and you don't, that inability to determine what your deficiencies are and be able to address those deficiencies is a problem. And you can't even see your own problem. For you to make that statement here is so ludicrous, it's ridiculous. We used to hear people talk about it. Well, I went to play in Aston Villa and I gave them 5 and 6. Really? What happened to the players them from 15, 16, 17, 18? Just disappear. Those players, the trajectory for those players just went like this, and yours went like this. Pure nonsense. Don't keep on talking. Oh, not the problem. People like you, Paul, oh, not the problem. Oh, not the problem. Good evening.
Yeah, Cranky.
Bless up. How are you doing?
Yeah, man. I listen to you from night, and we have to make a lot of sense, Cranky. But you see, the kind of stuff is still. When we look, who coach the under 20 team, Cranky, the under 20 girls team, you say?
I got the name here, you know. I could look it up. I have the name. Yeah, I'll give it the name. Jamaica.
I tell you, said the 3 team, the under 2 under 17 and the other thing, and maybe under 20 team will not qualify. It's the same problem, Cranky. The players them are all right, but you have no discipline, Cranky. You know that discipline made Jamaica not qualify.
When you say discipline, elaborate.
Discipline. Because look at the coach just tell the girl them say they go play. Because the girl they're holding the ball and playing like they want everybody playing skill. Who can beat who? Like him don't want to score.
Yeah, I think the name is the name Lee Croft Letman. I think that's the name of the coach actually.
And with the under 17 team, with Craig Butler, I thought with Freddie Buckler when one name, I thought he would do better because I don't see the formation when was playing off. Me try to know the formation when was trying to play. And the thing was cranky. The man them need Jamaica need a job. You go 1-1. Why attacking the game?
Look, I mean, people are going to question you if you lose, right? So he may have his rationale. I don't know what the rationale was. All I know is that the outcome is the same for all the junior teams. And my philosophy and my frustration is, you're right about the boys under 17. They have watered down the World Cup so much, it's hard not to make it. It's probably harder not to make it than to make it. It doesn't make any sense.
But Cranky, this was the easiest chance Jamaica get to qualify because easy chance because Jamaica don't get US, Canada, or Mexico.
They only had to beat. El Salvador is the only team they had to beat, the only real team, right? And we lose when we are up, and we made mistakes. But yeah, they were the only real team that we had to beat.
Yeah, so this is the easy chance, and when we look at it, you see, the coach's decision, because this coach, this is the one we blame. When you're talking about the quota system, I don't really know how they do the quota system. But away from that, as you said, the coaches, when they were saying coach, the coach need to go become Europe and them places. I just said, me agree with you on that. Send them go get some experience elsewhere instead of we learning from person where we better than them at all time.
Yeah, and I think you know what I said this to people a lot of times, which is you have to get out of your comfort zone. You sit in your comfort zone doing the same thing over and again, you get the same outcome, same results. You haven't spread your wings. You haven't gone out and tried to engage and build relationships and facilitate discussion and engagement and go to certain environment that you're uncomfortable in and go learn from people and take it back home. You haven't done that.
Yeah. And the thing, you know what I would love to see? I said to the man, say, it's like how Simois used to carry the team, go to Brazil back in those days,
right,
and get experience. This coach live in England, why them not say, all right, if you have some team, send the local team, nobody get no practice match. Get some of my local team and play some match in England with them with the team in England. With the team in
well, they're going to tell you that money. Right. So they're going to tell you that money is a problem, right? They're going to say money is a problem to take kids. And I can understand that. I can understand.
Frankie, you know, if you have a good marketing manager, you can go around and get sponsor the team to do all that in a country.
Well, they just got a new one not too long ago, you know, so she has a task in her hand to be able to facilitate that to occur.
Yeah, and if you still me wish Speid him a good luck. You know me have time for him doing a
I have time for him also. He would not have time for me after this, but I have time for him.
You know, because me have time for him because you know why? When me ask Mr. Speid, I asked him something one time, and he could lie to me like anybody else, and he tell me the truth.
Right.
And from that day, make me have a lot of respect for him because when he tell me, because when me say to him and he tell me something different more than when me tell him, I have a lot of time for him because me say he could say to me, he'd say, yeah man, that, but he said no. And when he tell me have a lot of time for him, man. I'm wishing good luck in the Conca Cup thing where I go on.
I second your view because if he does well, Jamaica does well. I am all about Jamaica. If he does well, Jamaica, I'm all about Jamaica.
Yeah, but if we don't mind shot, I'll tell you this, you know. If the Jamaica team are into at end time with this tournament, you know, I only hope the senior team not go into it because if they not reach this World Cup, we not reach the next World Cup, you know, again, you know.
Well, it's possible. We should not be fooled. If the recruiting doesn't improve, we may not get to the World Cup.
That's true.
If the recruiting doesn't improve, if this coach can bring in certain players, and I know of certain players they're trying to pursue. This window is a very important window based on what Tuchel is doing. We see what he does because England trying to cap everybody and their mother so they can't play for the country. They're trying to recruit players. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, but as I said, with me still, but I mean, I don't know, but let me tell you, if this coach reach World Cup, me not give him no thoughts. If he not reach, me not give him no thoughts because me not rate him. That is me. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I hear you, sir. I hear you. I appreciate the call, though.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Bless. Thanks. Yeah, look, people, we all have our own opinion, right? We don't have to have consensus. We don't have to agree. We just got to be respectful. I have nothing against Rudolph Speid. I may call him conflicts boss because he's conflicted. I'm going to give him a label. I have nothing against him. I hope he does phenomenal in the next round of the CONCACAF Club Championship. I hope he makes as much money as possible. I hope he invests that money in his club. But I don't want him in my national team because I think he's conflicted. I don't think he's best for the national team. And most importantly, it's not even about him and his conflict. It's the outcome and the results. We are constantly losing. We're tired for lose. Good evening. Hello.
Good evening. Yes, good evening.
How you doing?
Well, I'm doing fair to fine.
You know, you have 5 minutes, right? Because we know you can't take 5 minutes, but you have 5 minutes. So we have to tell you before you start. Because we know, say, whatever you go say, the offer you're going to take, you have to cut it down and summarize it.
All right. So I will begin.
Try to talk soft, like you talk soft. But go ahead.
No. I will begin. People in the house are sleeping.
Okay.
I will begin by responding to CC's response to my comment while he was talking when he said whichever coach have big team and they haven't made it. either to any championship.
Right.
In the 1980s and 90s, Jamaica used to send cane cutters to Cuba, and they used to win the silver bill. The cane cutting bill, silver, would be given to the champions. Jamaica have hundreds, if not thousands, of cane cutters, but they only sent the very best because only your very best in your country is going to be able to compete adequately with the very best of any other country. The stupidity of the likes of CC and Paul Edwards and all who maintain their positions to support the foolishness that the JFF continues to do is just that, stupidity.
One second, Pastor. One second, not to cut you, but just everybody, I see somebody just drop in the chat that Cranky, that Inter Miami is leading Kansas City by 2-0. So Messi maybe come to Jamaica. So Rudolph can start talk to him, banker. Go ahead, Pastor. Go to him, talk to him, banker.
Yes. Only the best in your country is going to be good enough to compete with the best in the other countries. The JPL in Jamaica is not in the best leagues in CONCACAF. It's not in the top 5 CONCACAF leagues. So there is absolutely zero chance of you having 3 players from the JPL being able to compete with the best in CONCACAF. May not even talk about the rest of the world. Therefore, for us to have our best team at every age group is that we must tap into where our best players are. And none of our best players are not in Jamaica. Our best players are in the diaspora. None of our best players are not in Jamaica. When the anomaly happens and you find a good enough player, I expect that that player be given the opportunity to be a part of the national setup in any and all age group. If we do not stop the stupidness of the likes of Dixon and King in the senior national male team, we're now got no World Cup. No World Cup. None. Not next year.
Yeah, I am not anti. Look, I will just say this before Pastor go forward, because this is Pastor people. I am not anti-Dixon being in the squad. I'm just not. I like Dixon. So I'll say that. I'll say that right off. So Pastor and I people don't agree on that. I like Dixon. Yes. I don't have any problem being in the squad because, frankly, our forward line right now is not the greatest. But go ahead.
Cranky?
Yeah.
Cranky. Dixon is not in the top 20 best frontline players available to Jamaica. And on no planet, you're going to pick 20 frontline players for any squad. Right. And I say that unapologetically, and anybody who wants to challenge me, you can go ahead. He is not in the top 20 best frontline players for Jamaica. No, I will say again, any time the anomaly happens, I expect that that anomaly or those anomalies be part of any and every age group national team on both genders. I cannot for the life of me understand how Mr. Speid can publicly state that the coaches in Jamaica have failed the youth and the footballers in Jamaica. But we continue to use these same coaches who have failed them and take their advice to exclude players who have been developed beyond the very coaches who have failed those in Jamaica. So American Gordon can dictate that Omari Hutchinson is not good enough. Yet Marion Gordon himself has failed the footballers in Jamaica. That's the word of Mr. Speid. This rubbish need to stop, and I need to see it stop for the next international window for the senior team. We're not going to make to no Gold Cup neither. You think a World Cup will never go? Anyhow, the foolishness don't stop. They can collect whatever money they can get now because they will be getting less hereafter. The Jamaica Football Authority, in the definition of the word, is a kleptocracy or a thievocracy, because that's all they have been doing for the ever since we have qualified for World Cup 1998. The administrations are an abject failure, and as you said, the 5 best coaches that we have had, who all left, none of them left on a performance scale. And yet we continue to celebrate and support the nonsense. The removal of Speid alone will not change Jamaica's fortunes, because you have people like YouTubers who are no different, and they fly the banner and sell the same poison.
So, Pastor, you have 1 more minute. Maybe you have 5. You have 7.5.
You have parish coordinators or parish presidents who sell the same poison. Until we get to the place where we realize only our best can compete with the best, because no other country not doing what Jamaica doing. None.
I probably would agree with that. I think countries are very much focused on getting the best players because they want to win. Yeah. So I can't disagree with that.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for the time.
I appreciate the call, Pastor, as usual. Thanks a lot. And don't talk. You weren't talking loud, so you haven't woke anybody up. But appreciate the call.
No. I'm actually whispering.
All right, sir. Thanks. Have a good night.
Yes, sir.
All right. That was Pastor and Pastor. Look, people, we have to be respectful when people are engaging. When people disagree with you, it is their perspective. If we all agree each other, keep saying this, then we all be robots. We would never have nothing contrarian, nothing to debate about if we all on the same page, right? We all can agree to disagree. I think it's A, you think it's B, I think it's black, you think it's white. That's all. Now, what you need to do is make your case, use your evidence, substantiate why your opinion and perspective is better than the opposition, right? I'm not putting a football guru's comment because sometimes he just is in it. I'm counteracting what I'm even saying, because sometimes he just goes on a tangent and we're focused on certain things. Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Evening. God bless.
God bless. Good evening. How you doing?
Not too bad, man. Pastor 100% right.
Okay. In terms of?
You know what? This and your topic on the JFF.
Right.
You understand? Yeah. It's really heartbreaking still to win and to be on top in the Conca Cup based on the quality that we have all over the world. Yeah, these people they really don't have Jamaica best interest at heart. Everything is self about themselves. You know what's bothering me recently when I was really said I want this federation to be elected again, but they really let me down big time.
Yeah, well, we didn't have much choice, you know. We had the lesser of two evils, it appears.
No, exactly. That's true. So based on what I'm saying now, Jamaica match already put to play at Sabina Park. And Rudolph Speid is still talking about the national stadium for his match, and his match is before the Jamaica match, which is like 2 weeks before the Jamaica match, which is ridiculous. So only thing he care about is Cavalier, not Jamaica.
I tend to agree with that.
So you see that alone tell you that this guy doesn't care about Jamaica. He's care about, because if the Jamaica match already designated for Sabina Park, and he's still talking about Cavalier match to be at the national stadium, what that tells you?
Yeah, look, look, people think I have some kind of vendetta against Rudolph Speid, and it's far from the truth, you know. I am just one of those individuals who believe that things has to be done the right way. If it's a spade, I'm gonna call it a spade.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
I hope Speid does. I hope Speid does. I hope Messi team win, and when them come to Jamaica, they steal themselves out and Speid bank enough money. That's what I want to happen.
Exactly. I want him to do well.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Jamaica, man is very terrible, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't disagree with you. Don't disagree with you. I appreciate the call.
It's mind-boggling, man. Yeah, man. Take care,
appreciate the call.
Good topic, man.
All right, thanks. Look, people, here's a problem I have with some of how we think sometimes. So, if an organization is failing, and the JFF is not failing across all bounds, right? Financially, they're doing much better. They have made change in certain departments. But we cannot debate, we can't argue, we can't deny that on the football field in Jamaica, we're not doing well. And the results here I have on the board substantiate what I'm saying. We are failing. We have a quota system. The under-20 coach for the girls who got fired, he got fired because he wanted more overseas-based girls in the team because some of the local players are just not good enough. They push him out. Busby, who I know now coach the reggae girls, is not having no quota thing. He wants the best players. And by the way, he has a long-term strategy he's employing, which is for the next 5 World Cup, we have to make it. So you know what? I'm going to find the best girls across the planet, whether they reside. They're in Montego Bay, then they're Kingston, then they're Trelawney, then they're London, then they're Brixton, then they're Atlanta. And I'm going to get them. If they need to be naturalized, get naturalized. And I'm going to have them in my team and groom them so we can produce the best product on the field. That's strategic. That's thinking. That's the model we got to employ and deploy. It's an imperative. It must be done. For the junior boys team and the junior girls team, we're quota, and we fail. And some people think that you're fighting against Speid and fighting against Rudolph, fighting against the JFF. That's your prerogative. It's your perspective to think that way. I ain't going to fight you about that. I will say all I want is Jamaica to do well. And if I see where the deficiencies are, if I see where we're not doing well, if I think I identify the problem, I'm going to call out the problem. And to me, the problem is leadership. Look, let me tell you something. I support Dennis Chung in the finance role because I see him trying to be a little bit inventive to create revenues, and I see the financial numbers doing well. He's holding people accountable. He put governance in place about the expenses. When I even nobody at travel to get match fee and game fee and all sort of fee and spend big airfare. He has put controls around those processes to make they work, and I applaud that. I applaud what Simon is doing in the media, where he's making it look professional, and we don't hold our nose when we go to press conferences. Even though, Rudolph, I'm named the Maverick one beat the YouTubers, right? Because them enough. We proliferate the space, right? I applaud getting Avery on board. I don't know what Avery going to contribute well, but she's a new person. She's young. She's vibrant. She may be able to help the program. But the product of the JFF, its main product that it needs to market is the football. It's unforgivable that our junior teams can't get past, leave the Caribbean, go into play and compete. When I have in my possession tons of players for under 15 and 16, for under 20, who could contribute to the team and make us better and help us to get to the destination, and we decide to exclude them because we have some idiot quota system which now work. Because we want to give the youth in Jamaica a chance. Well, you're giving them a chance, but you're not preparing them to have the chance and take the chance. So you're failing miserably. And then we have people like football guru and Paul Edwards coming here talking their nonsense 24/7 and can't see the board where it says fail to qualify, fail to qualify, fail to qualify, fail to qualify. We don't have anything else to fail to qualify for. Those things are all the junior teams. The senior reggae girls team that has no quota, they qualify. The men's team, which have a soft quota, no matter what you want them, because I've been told this by a lot of people, and I believe the same myself, they may or may not qualify, right? The recruiting has not been good. And first of all, the JFF don't have a good recruiting strategy. It's atrocious. I have been told, and by the way, I'll call out something, don't get myself in trouble before me conclude. I have been told that under the PNP, so you get yourself in trouble, like I bring politics in. Somebody gave me a stats about how many players were naturalized both under PNP and JLP. JLP has been in position for the last, 12 years? I think it's about 4 times more under PNP than JLP. It's my understanding the PNP head has met with the coach. The current prime minister has not met with the coach. Don't ask me what that is. Don't ask me what that means. My understanding that PICA doesn't engage the JFF now as they need to get people naturalized. I'm just giving you information that I've gotten. Okay? So don't say cranky or support JLP versus PNP. Me not care about Jamaica politics. All them to me, I see him. Put them on barrel and roll on one hill. Okay, now move the country forward. So I know politics things. So when nobody come say cranky this about politics and cranky that and cranky like PNP and JLP, I'm giving you the facts. The view has been that when we had COVID in 22, that the stadium could not be used. People couldn't go to the stadium for the reggae boys, but 2 weeks later in Gibson, they were in the stadium. People are using those examples and say, this can't be right. They don't like football, JLP. Me, I go into the facts. Me not care who like who for who not like who. Me not in that politics thing. Steer far from it. But the point I'm making is this. All the parties on board who could influence the football, who can support the football, who can make the football better, should do so. The current JLP administration does give the JFF money. Allocation every quarter, I think, is what it is. Right? Certain amount of money. Right? So it doesn't mean they don't give them no money. But some people believe that there's partiality between the two different administrations about how to raise the football. Don't ask me what that means. I'm just giving you the facts. My view is this. I'm going to sign up by saying this. I do not have any animosity towards Rudolph Speid. None. But I do have a problem with Rudolph Speid being a Cavaliers person, being a JFF head of technical committee, and the atrocious place the football is in our ability to compete on the world stage. And we keep beating ourselves about the Caribbean, and the Caribbean is going to the dogs in a lot of different areas, and it's not the benchmark to be utilized to assess where we are. And if we keep doing that, it's nonsense, and we're going to end up where we are. As I said before, when I woke up the morning after we lost in under 17, even though I don't really watch the junior team that much, because I hear the quota thing, so I say I boycott, but I still watch it because of Jamaica, and I want the kids to do well, and I hope some of those kids advance in their career. I could not believe how we lost that game, and I could not believe how bad we were in providing guidance to those kids. It was just frustrating, and we can do better. So those of you who may have this perspective that cranky hate Speid and unlike Speid, Rudolph communicated with me maybe 3 weeks ago. He probably would never communicate with me after this tonight because I'm asking for him. When I like to put up people mouth, but Rudolph gotta go. He can't run the program. He can't run Cavaliers and run his credit union at the same time. The JFF not part-time job. JFF needs to be more than a full-time job. You see, like how Elon Musk, who I despise, is running the government that just cut and slice and just destroy. That's how the technical element of JFF needs to be. We can keep the finance area, we can keep the media area, we can keep the marketing area, but the technical part, they should all go. The whole technical committee, Rudolph Speid, Wendell Downswell, anybody work for them? All of them figure. Them now do a good job. Go get somebody with international experience. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, I know it's expensive. And bring them in to run the program. Right? Sherman Scott says, I sound jealous. Sherman Scott, please tell the audience why I may be jealous. Sherman Scott, don't just drop that. Please, Sherman Scott, please explain to the audience why I may be jealous. That you can't just make a statement with no basis of fact. That's very nonsensical, to be honest. Why would I be jealous? What is it that I want that make me jealous? Because being jealous means that you envy something. Please elaborate for the audience so we can understand what you're saying. Because that's a little bit confusing. You just drop a statement, you sound jealous. You're talking about me or somebody else? I'm confused. Jay said, Cranky, the regular girls have good recruitment strategy. Remember the first team that qualified? Yeah, they do. And it's even getting better. Because Busby's getting better. Cranky, let's give God from our mission. There only one Savior and then men crucified him. I don't believe in Jesus. So don't ask me about Jesus, one umbrella. Come here, I'll tell you that. You don't got life beers. I believe not on Jesus. No person from some Jewish ancestry, not my God. You're God, not my God. So I'm not answer you. Nature says, doesn't mean I don't believe in God, but I believe nothing but on Jesus nonsense. Wrong person you talk to. Now get me up on a tangent now. Don't go there. Leave it alone. May have more sense than that, me think. Okay, here this one. Cranky, jealous of speed achievement football. Cranky, jealous of speed achievement, Cranky. Are people in football if they run football? Sherman Scott. People, when you are debating somebody and when you have an adverse view, it needs to make sense. I'm jealous of speed in football. Really? I'm not jealous of anybody who overrun a program that failed to go for 4 World Cup in a row. I am not a sadist, Sherman Scott. Really? For a national program where we were given a World Cup spot, just had to turn up, and we failed, and I'm jealous of that person. Are you out of your mind? Rudolph Speid, nothing I want. Nothing. Me don't want Cavaliers. Me don't want him roll at JFF. Me don't want him money. Me don't want nothing. So Sherman Scott, I think you should find another person to talk to because you're confused about who I am and what I stand for. In fact, somebody say you're brainless. I don't think you're brainless. I don't think you have any brain to be brainless. You're confused, Sherman Scott. You have me confused, mixed up with somebody else. You totally don't have no who I am and what I represent in life. I am not fussed about materiality. I'm not fussed about resources. I am fussed about, I love my sports. I love my people. I wanted to do well. I have this utopian view of life. All our people, black, white, green, need to get along. My black people at the bottom of the totem pole in this world need to enhance where they are and uplift themselves. And my hope is that they uplift themselves. The sports I love and the country I love, when them not do well, I'm going to call out those who are in position of responsibility, including the president, who I say I like a lot, including Rudolph Speid, who I think is doing a good job of Cavaliers, and say, you know what? You're not on your job. You need to go. I didn't call for the president firing because some areas of the JFF are doing well. The technical of the JFF has been an abomination unto the Lord. You want me to say that now? The technical of the JFF, technical director, technical committee, technical nonsense, an abomination. They need to go. We don't want to be around them. We don't want to see them anymore. We need our kids in Jamaica who have been blessed with physical attributes, for those attributes to be taken, nurtured, developed, along with their mental acumen, and become the best person they can be, including the best footballers, period. We don't want to settle. And we don't want no to tell me nothing different. Come in now, listen. We don't want to hear it. So let me close up by saying, because it's time for me to go. So almost 2 hours I'm here. First of all, I appreciate those of you in the chat who have come to join me this evening. I appreciate even the comments which may not align with my thoughts, because I've said we're not monolithic. We are different. We operate differently. We think differently. I may not approve Football Guru because he's contrary to everything. Football Guru people is one of those people. If you said the thing black, he said no, it's white. If you say green, he said no, it's blue. That's Football Guru. I know these people. I'd have somebody, not a friend, acquaintance like that. No matter what you say in life, he's going to say the opposite because it makes him prominent. That's how he operates. So I understand that. But I don't want to hear the narrative that Cranky dislike Rudolph Speid. I do not. I think Rudolph Speid does well in certain discipline, in certain areas, and continue to do so. But Rudolph Speid has failed. He said he has fired people. So why can't he get fired? He fired coaches who have done well and coaches who have not done well. Why should he be the only person who can fire people and he can't get fired when he has done poorly? His record speaks for itself. All those red lines you see up there, that's Rudolph Speid records. If you want to say he doesn't coach a team, he hired the coaches. We say he doesn't coach the players, he's the one who have his quota system and preclude certain players from exercising their right to play citizenship right. He is the one who's discriminating with his quota system, along with the president and others in the JFF. He's the one who administers all these things. He's a decision maker. When you're on the front line and you're making decisions, when there's blowback, you are right in the path of that blowback. Take your licks and deal with it. Will he get fired? Probably not. But Mr. President, you're not doing your job. Mr. Ricketts, I'm the only person in Jamaica I call Mr. Mr. Ricketts, come respect you, you're not doing your job. You are allowing mediocrity and failure to permeate the organization, and it's not okay. Because you know who feel the pain? The fans who support the football program. It's inappropriate, Mr. President, for you to allow this to continue. You need to make changes. As I said to Dennis when he first took his job in finance, you cannot be successful if the same people are doing the same thing and you don't make changes. The only thing constant in life is change. Changes have to be made. Everyone, I appreciate you being here. If you so choose, please hit the like button before you leave. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I appreciate it. And I appreciate every single one of you, including Paul Edwards and Football Guru, who always beat me 24/7. They never agree with anything I say. And Rudolph Speid, I hope Inter Miami win. I hope the stadium in Jamaica is packed to the brim. I hope you get as much money as possible in your coffers to help the football program. But you know who go get help? Cavaliers. It ain't the JFF. Okay? Always remember that. And Rudolph Speid, your conflict is intolerable and you got to go. Good night, everyone. Appreciate you. Peace out. Frankie Life is the place to be now for the best sports talk, and it's free, yo. Frankie Life will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Frankie Life, tell them. Frankie Life, heed them. Frankie Life, want them. Cranky Life. From the courts to the field, we'll never lose because Cranky has the hottest news. With expert analysis, we break it down. Our in-depth coverage is best in town. Cranky Life, tell them. Cranky Life, heed them. Cranky Life, want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life, where the sports is spicy and where we keep the discussion lively. Cranky Life, get to know the name because Cranky analysis is never lame. Cranky Life, give me my Cranky Life. I want my Cranky Life. Must have my Cranky Life. Whether it's football or track and field, you know Cranky is at the wheel. So join the journey through victory and defeat and subscribe and don't miss a beat of Cranky Life. Tell them, Cranky Life. Heed them, Cranky Life. Want them, Cranky Life. If you're from England or USA, from Kingston or Bombay, from Kenya or Canada, Lagos or Havana, visit Cranky Life. Tune into Cranky Life. Like up Cranky Life. Subscribe to Cranky Life. Cranky Life coming to you on weekdays. Cranky Life sometimes on Sundays. Pull up a chair and take a seat because Cranky will always bring the heat. Cranky Life. Me say fi tell them Cranky Life. Me say fi heed them Cranky Life. On them Cranky Life. Cranky Life will be around. Cranky Life is the best in town. Me say fi heed them. Me say fi want them. Me say fi heed them. Want them, heed them, want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them, heed them, want them. Cranky Life. Cranky Life. Cranky. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them. Heed, want, heed them.